BestBookBits.com presents 50 Words to Your Dreams, Chapter 34, Spirituality. Do you want to know how to manifest your dreams? Do you want to know the simple, straightforward, no bullshit path to take your dream out of your head into reality? This 50-chapter video series titled 50 Words to Your Dreams has the answers. Researched for over 10 years and compiled into video, written in audio format for easy consumption, this series will empower you with the know-how and tools you need to manifest your dreams into reality. Created by myself, the creator of the world's largest free book summary website, bestbookbits.com, this series is a wealth of knowledge condensed down into 50 bite-sized pieces. So without further ado, I bring you chapter 34 of the series, 50 Words to Your Dreams, Spirituality. Spirituality is the relationship you have with your essence of being. Call it your spirit, your soul, or your inner life. It's all one and the same. Spirituality is the practice people perform in a variety of ways through quieting the noise of the world and mind through meditation or yoga, or attending a church service or visiting a holy place of worship. Some people use drugs to connect with themselves, some people use dance, and some people use both. A practice of spirituality, for one, is going to be different from person to person. Spirituality is not an event or a destination arrived at. It is a journey within, bridging your outer life with your inner life. I believe our natural essence is spirit, and we are spiritual beings having a human experience on this planet we call Earth. By being spirit first and body second, we have in essence an unseen, often untapped deep reservoir of spiritual knowledge and power. Through the vast history of teachers and practitioners of spirituality, we have the knowledge and know-how to tap into our spirit and release its power. Nothing external comes close to the power of inner peace and inner wisdom. You can't buy it, you can't steal it, you can't borrow it. All you can do, really, is to remove the mental blocks that stand in its way. What's blocking you from the inner peace? The answer is you, not the world. Your thoughts, your actions, your habits, and, the biggest of all, your ego. These are the four top mental blocks blocking you from your inner peace. You have conditioned yourself your whole life to think a certain way, which has created patterns of thought in your mind like grooves on a vinyl record, playing the same inner loop of thoughts day in and day out, which in turn is creating the same daily actions, and with repetitive actions, you form habits. Habits become automatic and you start deriving your identity, aka ego, from what you do, not what you are, which is a spiritual being having a human experience. To start the process of uncovering your inner peace is a simple process of removing the barriers. Barrier 1 is your thoughts. Your thoughts, aka your internal mental movie that is streaming 24/7 like Netflix, is always running in the background. Practice muting the movie from time to time by setting aside time in the day, preferably in the morning, for meditation. If you are new to meditation, use a guided meditation app on your phone. Muting the stream of thoughts in your head connects you to your inner peace, which is always present, always silent, always patient. Barrier 2 is your actions. Simply put, ask yourself, are my actions bringing me closer to the inner peace or further away? Is this job, relationship, friendship, food, drink, addiction, TV show bringing me inner peace or blocking my peace? Your actions are not just a major determining factor in how your life turns out, but the major determining factor of your spiritual life. It's called a spiritual practice because it's a doing, not just a state of being. Barrier 3 is your habits. The habits you have formed over your life is what makes your life. Show me a highly enlightened spiritual being, and I'll show you their highly enlightened spiritual habits, from what they do and, most importantly, what they don't do. Habits to inner peace is more about dropping the habits that is leading you away from inner peace, rather than acquiring habits to inner peace, as inner peace is always present. You just have to unwrap it. Barrier 4 is a major block stopping you from inner peace, and this is your ego. A beautiful quote by Marianne Williamson to illustrate. Ego says, once everything falls into place, I'll feel peace. Spirit says, find your peace and then everything will fall into place. Your ego filters your reality through your identity. Your ego filters your reality through your identity. Your ego has been built unconsciously by yourself over your lifetime to protect your self-esteem and self-importance. Your ego, more than not, is the major reason you don't connect with yourself on a spiritual level, as your ego is not identifying you as a person who is spiritual and thus is blocking you from connecting to your inner peace. Quotes on spirituality. A man of awareness and understanding moves to the periphery, to the center, to the periphery, from the marketplace to the monastery, from being extrovert to being introvert. He continuously goes on moving because these two are his wings. They are not against each other. A meditative mind is at ease because it's not trying to acquire anything. A mind at peace, a mind centered and not focused on harming others, is stronger than any physical force in the universe. A scholar tries to learn something every day. A student of Buddhism tries to unlearn something daily. All structures, forms that are unstable, even the seemingly solid material ones, peace arises within you. Amidst the rush of worldly comings and goings, I observe how all endings become beginnings. As soon as you honor the present moment, all unhappiness and struggle dissolve, and life begins to flow with joy and ease. When you act out the present moment awareness, whatever you do becomes imbued with a sense of quality, care and love, even the most simplest action. As you become aware, a miracle starts happening. Many things that you used to do before simply disappear. As you go about your life, don't give 100% of your attention to external world and your mind. Keep some within. Attach yourself to what is spiritually superior, regardless of what other people think or do. Hold to your true aspirations no matter what is going on around you. Attachment to things drops away by itself when you no longer seek to find yourself in them. Awareness is not something to be cultivated, it is already there. It has just to be awakened. Awareness grows slowly, but it grows. One just has to be patient. Be still. It takes no effort to be still. It is utterly simple. When your mind is still, you have no name. You have no past. You have no relationships. You have no country. You have no spiritual attainment. There is just a presence of beingness with itself. Become aware of the silent but powerful sense of presence. There is one certain criterion by which you can measure your success in the practice, the degree of peace that you feel within. By letting it go, it all gets done. The world is won by those who let it go. But when you try and try, the world is beyond winning. By the practice of deep listening and gentle speech, we can help remove the wrong perceptions in us and them, and this is the basic practice in order to bring peace. Detachment is not that you should own nothing, but that nothing should own you. Do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. Doing one thing at a time means to be total in what you do, to give it your complete attention. This is surrendered action, empowered action. Drop reactions and allow more and more responses. Each mindful step is a step towards freedom. Enlightenment is a destructive process. It has nothing to do with becoming better or being happier. Enlightenment is the crumbling away of untruth. It's seen through the facade of pretense. It's the complete eradication of everything we imagine to be true. Enlightenment is intimacy with all things. Enlightenment is understanding that there is nowhere to go, nothing to do, and nobody you have to be except who you are being right now. Everything is passing, enjoy its momentariness. For most people, their spiritual teacher is their suffering, because eventually the suffering brings about awakening. He who knows himself is enlightened. Hold on to the center. Man was made to sit quietly and find the truth within. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You were the one getting burned. I stopped looking for the light, decided to become it instead. If there were no illusions, there would be no enlightenment. It is through the world and ultimately through you that the unmanifested knows itself. If you have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. If you cannot find peace within yourself, you will never find it anywhere else. If you suffer, it is because of you. If you feel blissful, it is because of you. Nobody is responsible, only you and you alone. You are your hell and your heaven too. If you want to awaken all of humanity, then awaken all of yourself. If you want to eliminate the suffering of the world, then eliminate all that is dark and negative in yourself. Truly, the greatest gift you have to give is that of your own self-transformation. In the midst of movements and chaos, keep stillness inside of you. Just think of the trees. They let the birds perch and fly, with no intention to call them when they come, and no longing for their return when they fly away. If people's hearts can be like trees, they will not be off the way. Life is available only in the present moment. Many people think that being spiritual means being positive, but being spiritual means being conscious and aware. To become conscious is much more a different thing than to become positive. To become conscious and aware, we must become authentic. Authenticity includes both positive and negative. Never be in a hurry. Do everything quietly and in a calm spirit. Do not lose your inner peace for anything whatsoever, even if your whole world seems upset. Nobody can bring you peace but yourself. Non-resistance, non-judgmental, and non-attachment are the three aspects of true freedom and enlightened living. Now is the only reality. Now is the only reality. All else is either memory or imagination. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Open hearts always recognize each other. Open hearts do not judge the universe. When you dive into an open heart, you fall into infinity. Our civilization, which is lost in doing, knows nothing of being. It asks being, what do you do with it? Our whole spiritual transformation brings us to the point where we realize that in our own being, we are enough. Peace is its own reward. Peace is a result of retraining your mind to process life as it is, rather than as you think it should be. People say walking on water is a miracle, but to me, walking peacefully on earth is the real miracle. Remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. Silence is telling you everything you need to be happy, but you keep interrupting. So the single most vital step on your journey towards enlightenment is this. Learn to disidentify from your mind. Learn to disidentify from your mind. Every time you create a gap in the stream of mind, the light of your consciousness grows stronger. Spirituality must be lived, not just studied. All the books in the world will not help us if we do not live what we learn. Stop looking for your soulmate. Start looking for your soul mate. Sure sign of spiritual growth. You want more freedom and less stuff. You want more freedom and less stuff. The equivalent of external noise is the inner noise of thinking. The equivalent of external silence is inner silence. The experience of inner peace is my true gauge of all my accomplishments. The gap between your expectations and reality is your suffering. The more unconscious you are, the further away you are from yourself. The more conscious, the nearer you reach to yourself. The present moment is all you ever have. There is never a time when your life is not this moment. Is this not a fact? The quieter you become, the more you can hear. The spiritual journey is one of continuous learning and purification. When you know this, you become humble. The whole Eastern mythology can be reduced to one word, witnessing, and the whole Western mythology can be reduced to one thing, analyzing. Analyzing, you go round and round. Witnessing, you simply get out of the circle. This too will pass. This too will pass. Those who know do not talk. Those who talk do not know. The less I care about the approval of others, the more approval I receive. Through allowing the isness of all things, a deeper dimension underneath the play of opposites reveals itself to you as an abiding presence, an unchanging deep stillness, an uncaused joy beyond good and bad. This is the joy of being, the peace of God. To die consciously, you must live consciously. To live consciously, you must have the courage to go inside yourself to find out who you really are, to understand that behind all masks of individual differences, you are a being of beauty, of love, of awareness. We are actors in a play who have forgotten they are in a play. We are here to awaken from the illusion of our separateness. People normally cut reality into compartments and so are unable to see the interdependence of all phenomena. To see one in all and all in one is to break through the great barrier which narrows one's perception of reality. We are not our bodies, our possessions, or our careers. Who we are is divine love, and that is infinite. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. We must never allow our bodies to dominate our spirits, and that no matter how long our time on earth may seem, it is but a grain of sand when compared to the eternity of the soul. We suffer because we desire. If we could give up desire, we won't suffer. We're all just walking each other home. We're all just walking each other home. What you're looking for is within. Your truth is within. Your peace is within. When anybody laughs, he has no mind, no thought, no problem, no suffering. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. When you are detached, you gain a higher vantage point from which to view the events in your life instead of being trapped inside of them. When you're in the present, Without thinking, you are for the first time spiritual. A new dimension opens. That dimension is awareness. When you make friends with the present moment, you feel at home no matter where you are. When you teach a child that a bird is named Bird, the child will never see the bird again. Wherever you are, be there totally. He who looks outside dreams. He who looks inside awakes. Work on yourself, have compassion for yourself, allow yourself to be beautiful, and the rest will follow. You are just living in the small corner of your being, the tiny conscious mind. It is as if somebody has a palace and has completely forgotten about the palace and has started living on the porch and thinks this is all. And last, you'll work on yourself spiritually as an offering to your fellow beings, because until you have cultivated the quality of peace, love, joy, presence, honesty, and truth, all your acts are coloured by your attachments. And that's a wrap on 50 Words to Your Dreams, Chapter 34, Spirituality. Let me know your thoughts on Chapter 34 in the comments below. If you need some accountability in your life, connect with me for free coaching sessions at coaching@bestbookbits.com. For hundreds of video, written, and audiobook summaries, check out our website, bestbookbits.com. Stay tuned for Chapter 35 in the series, Growth. Thanks for watching and listening. Hope you got something from this. Go out there and have yourself a great day. Take care. Bye-bye now.